All right, so today I'm going to be breaking down Brez Scale's $765,000 per month sales funnel. I'm going to be going into the exact Typeform strategy he uses, the exact landing page strategy and VSL strategy he uses to maximize retention, his podcast and clipping strategies, as well as his YT and tracking strategies in between every single thing that you could possibly need to know for you to copy this funnel and use it for your own coaching business. Trust me, this is going to be valuable for anybody starting from zero all the way up to $100,000 a month. If you watch this video, you'll walk away with something actionable to actually implement into your own coaching business to add another $10,000 to $20,000 a month in monthly recurring revenue on your top line within the end of this video. So without any further ado, pull out your pen and paper. Let's get into the rest of the breakdown. So we're going to start off with breaking down his TikTok because Brez has over 1 million followers on here. Now he runs ads for businesses and owns a lot of cool cars. That is his bio. It's just a little bit of personality building, and I run ads for businesses, just explaining what he does in a very simple way that is easy to understand for everybody. An easy way you can do this is just go ahead and run your kind of breakdown of what exactly you do through something like ChatGPT. Yes, this is supposed to be a ChatGPT logo, don't judge it, and go ahead and ask it to make you a third grader reading level prompt, right? Or description, or whatever you want to call it. You can go and paste that right in here, super short, and then finally a CTA for exactly what you want them to do, which is right here in his case, AI advertiser, which is his VSL. Now for the content he posts on his TikTok, it's very simple, talking head type content. He posts 2 to 3 of these every single day, and this is building a metric ton of trust because of course he's just a dude talking to you. He doesn't feel like some guru guy that you can't really connect with. He's just a dude talking to a camera. He's giving away a lot of value and giving away a lot of opinions, so he's got a lot of those polarizing opinions, which is why he gets a lot of views, and thus he's able to get a lot of people to actually like him a metric ton. So he gets people to already know him, like him, and trust him just off of the TikTok. But now you may be wondering, then why isn't TikTok the perfect platform? Well, TikTok actually sucks ass as a coach for your overall info business. It's just the worst possible platform. Why? Because TikTok's algorithm is extremely different from what IG or YouTube would have, because TikTok pushes your content to a lot of cold viewers first. So it pushes it to a group of very ice cold viewers first, right? And these viewers go ahead and check it out, right? They check it out, and then once you actually get these people to give you the get-go, like the video, comment on it, engage with it, whatever it might be, get you those views and retention, only then does it push it to the rest of your audience. Now you see the problem here? Well, the problem here is that there are no places where you're actually hitting your followers consistently. You're barely ever hitting your followers on TikTok. That's why it actually sucks to get those people that know you to the next level after knowing you to actually liking you and trusting you. It just sucks as a platform. So how do you fix that? Well, you use something that's a different version of TikTok. It's a different short form platform, which of course we all know as Instagram. And this is the next part of his funnel. And this is one of the most important parts of his funnel, and probably the most important for personality building. Now, Brez has 1.3 million followers on the Instagram. Super simple profile picture. If you're making a profile picture at home, you just need to make yourself look like you're a retard or just a normal dude, right? You don't need to make yourself look like you're dumb, but you just need to make yourself look like a normal dude, because you need to show people, hey, you might be a little retarded, but I'm even more retarded than you and I made more money than you. And the first step to that is making yourself look like an equal to them. And then throughout your content, you can show that, hey, I started exactly where you are and I got to this point. So you can actually do that too. Making himself look as normal as possible here in this profile picture, he also allows you to go ahead and look at his bio, where you see I scale brands and own cool cars, same exact bio. But here there's a little bit of social proof because he says building at Brand Lab and at my trenches. And then he has a CTA for my free training, which is the AI advertiser link that we saw earlier. And then on top of that, he also, of course, has another link that goes to his actual... Now, on top of that, he actually has another link that goes to his agency funnel as well. We're not going to be breaking that down in this video, so that's not going to be mentioned. I'm going to be going on the more coaching side of his funnel, but this is pretty applicable if you are running some sort of agency as well, because it's the same shit. It doesn't really matter. So for the story highlights, it's 3 different unique story highlights. Number 1 is life, then there's whips, and then there's marketing. Now, life is basically, again, lifestyle, just lifestyle stuff, building a lot of authority, also getting people to understand that, hey, Brez is at my dream lifestyle. You're basically showing them, hey, I am at the exact spot that you want to be. I am where you aspire to be. I am cool, right, in your eyes. So you should go ahead and look at my content, give me your eyeballs, and buy my stuff, because I can actually help you get there as well. Because if I'm already there, then why can't I help you get there? Same thing with whips. And then marketing is a little bit of social proof, because here in the lifestyle spot, he actually gets people to emotionally buy into you. And to understand this really deeply, I'm going to go into a breakdown of how status works, because the way status works is very simple. You just need to show people, right, these normal ass people, that you have something, right, that they do not have. You are somehow better than them in that sense. How do you do this? Well, you show them that you have the thing that they desire, which in this case could be money. Other times it could be value. Like in my case, I'm showing that I have value that the coaches that watch my videos don't have. And it can be anything in between. Now, Now, in Brez's case, there's a lot of that focus on money. A lot of people that are watching his videos are brokies. They have no money. And so he can gain a metric ton of status and show that he's so much better than them by showing off his cars and his whips and showing that he has that money, he has that lifestyle that they dream to live. And thus they will listen to him because he's built that status throughout this funnel. So, but you also need to understand that status is built on an emotional level. It's never built on a logical level. Status is simply inherently not a logical thing. So once you've built that status, you need a way to actually logically make people buy into it and make it make sense for them to work with you. And thus you need to have tangible social proof, which is the marketing story highlight that he has right here, which is tangible social proof that the business model works and he's getting results with it. And thus he can teach you how to get those results. Now the Instagram has very similar content to the TikTok, just a lot more clips just to flesh it out, have more posts going out again, because he's trying to capitalize on the difference between the IG and TikTok algorithm, where TikTok rewards the most high quality content. If you post the highest quality content on TikTok, you will get the most views and the most consistent views. And so that's why you always want to test as much content as possible on IG. Whenever it performs really good on IG, you post that straight onto your TikTok and vice versa. And then basically IG just allows you to get a lot of reps in and a lot of different videos that build a lot of likeness, trusting, everything like that, authority, everything in between, showing off your story, giving away value, everything in between that you can add it on Instagram, because it's simply a place where your audience is actually going to see that. They're actually going to see it multiple times every single day. They're going to watch you and actually be devoted to you as a fan, instead of what would be on TikTok, which is just some random dude scrolling in his bedroom at like 1 a.m. right? So that is why Instagram is just 10 times more effective than TikTok. And the exact strategy you need to follow, I mentioned earlier a little bit, but all you really need to do, post 4 to 5 times every single day on TikTok or Instagram, sorry, these talking head videos. If you have clips of lifestyle stuff, post that, but I would highly recommend you don't do that to not dilute your audience. Best thing to do is post value clips, so sales call clip. Those are not the best. Sales call clips are mostly for done for you, so done with you. If you're doing done with you, posting client call clips is the best. And on top of that, posting clips from your longer form YouTube videos, just like what I do on IG, gets you a lot of views, a lot of top funnel stuff where a lot of people get eyeballs onto you and really come into your funnel, at which point the talking head stuff really gets them to care about you as a person. Now, once you have done that, that is what you've got for your Instagram, right? And when you do that, you also need to understand that Instagram just simply cannot fully nurture your audience. And I'm going to explain why right here. All you need to really know is that the thing that you need to nurture your audience is a lot of hours of content consumed. So why then would you keep them on IG? You wouldn't. So what do? You push them over to the long form content platform, which is YouTube. On YouTube, he has 520,000 subscribers. I scale brands with paid ads and document my cool lifestyle as a young entrepreneur. Now on here, he has a metric ton of top of funnel long form content going up to 30 to 40 to 50 minutes long. This content, metric ton of just face exposure for people to look at in this content, to see Brez over and over and over and over again for hours and hours and hours of their life, right? So it's the best possible way to do this. And why do we care about this though? Why exactly do we care about it? So the reason we care about this is because of something called the 7-11-4 threshold. And this is very, very simple, because you need to hit this threshold before somebody actually buys a high ticket program for you. And it stands for 7 hours of content consumed. So people have to consume 7 hours of your content across 11 different touch points, across 4 different locations to finally be ready to buy a high ticket product off of you. Why? Because they need to trust you enough to that point. This is what nurturing is defined as. A lot of people don't actually define nurturing in a specific way, but all you need to understand is this is the meaning of nurturing. This is what it means when people say nurturing. You need them to watch 7 hours of content across 11 different touch points, which is different videos, different reels, different places that they're seeing it. And then different locations is different platforms. There's different settings that they are being fed this content in, because people think different ways in different settings. On TikTok, people think, my mind is off, I'm not going to think. Instagram, people think, okay, I should look at this guy's profile, I'm a bit interested, their mind is a little bit more turned on. And then on YouTube, it's always stuff that you're watching on purpose. It's 90%, like 50 to 60% of people that are watching YouTube videos are watching them on their computer. At least these value videos and more so these lifestyle videos as well, but probably a lower percentage for lifestyle videos, around 20 to 30%. So you also might be wondering, what is the actual content strategy that you need to have for YouTube? It's very simple. You want to post about 50% top of funnel content to get as many eyeballs into your funnel as physically possible. And top of funnel doesn't need to be huge lifestyle shit. Like if you don't want to, then don't do that. What you need to really do is, again, show you have value that the other person doesn't have. You have information that the other person doesn't have. And so what you can also do is just talk about very high level topics. And there's a guy called Mark Builds Brands that absolutely crushes with this exact system right here. And what he does is that he has very, 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 very high level breakdowns, right? High level videos or top of funnel videos where he's not even talking about ecom. Like this guy does supplement dropshipping. Like he's talking about mindset, neuroscience confirming stuff, entire meta ads algorithm. Stop trying to save your friends. I tried only running AI ads. How to print money with AI. Like that's super general right there. And that's why he's getting insane views on these videos. I tried staring at a wall every day for 30 days, better than Adderall, right? Like all of this stuff is super top of funnel content, and you don't need to be caged into the top of funnel lifestyle shit that you see see all these gurus doing online. Now, the rest of the content that you need to post is about 30% what's called middle of funnel, which is more value-based content, and then finally 20% top or bottom of funnel, which is more case studies and showing that you know the stuff that you're talking about by proving it, by actually going through these things and doing them on camera, right? It's just showing, not telling, basically. That is what bottom of funnel is. You can also do this through case studies, client calls, everything in between. It doesn't really matter. This is what bottom of funnel pertains to. But there's also one level deeper on YouTube that a lot of people don't actually take advantage of, but the big guys in the space are absolutely crushing on, which is called a podcast. You know, you've obviously heard of podcasts before, but podcasts, the reason that they crush so hard is because these are hour-long videos, 2-hour-long videos, 3-hour-long videos that get hundreds of thousands of views. For example, this one down here with Nathan Nazareth. And these hundreds of thousands of views are from completely new audience. Guys in Nathan Nazareth's audience might have never heard who Brez is, but now they do. Now they know that this kid became a millionaire in 1 year. I am kind of interested in this kid. I'm going to watch one of his pieces of content, or when this comes up in my feed, I might give him my time of day, simply because you've seen him through all of these podcasts. And not to even mention the clip farming that can happen on these podcasts. It's insane, right? You can get so many clips from just a single podcast. Like if you were able to actually clip up a podcast well, and the person presenting, in this case Brez, he's actually really good at clip farming, so you are easily able to get 50 to 60 clips every single podcast. Now maybe you can stretch that to 30 to 40 really high quality clips, and those, you know, out of those, like 5 to 10 will get millions of views. So huge ROI to be hopping on these podcasts, and especially for the clipping sector. And not even just that, but just for more eyeballs and more brand recognition and more social proof and more nurturing as well, because people put this on while cooking, driving, you know, obviously not looking at it, but driving and sleeping. Even like a lot of people do that. Even I do that, right? I sleep with a podcast on sometimes. And so these do so much for your nurturing within your funnel. And speaking of those clips that I mentioned earlier, how exactly do people get into this? Well, it's actually through something called WAP. Now, this is just a little link that I grabbed off of WAP's official page, where you can make $2 per 1,000 views for these clippers, right? And this is on the high end. Like Brez is paying a fuck ton for this, right? You could pay like 50 cents even per 1,000 views, and people would still clip for you. And all people need to do is clip your shit up, and then per 1,000 views, they get 50 cents to $2, up to even $3. That's pretty insane, but Brez is subsidizing them really hard because he simply wants a lot of clippers. That's why a lot of clippers are coming to Brez, because he's paying them the big bucks. So once you get those big bucks, you're interested in clipping for Brez, right? And these clipping pages are born from exactly that desire. Millions of views every single TikTok or every single reel that they post. This is on Instagram as well. This is not just on TikTok, but there's exactly these exact things where they clarify, I'm not Brez Scales, unofficial page for Brez Scales, and then they link to either Brez's main, or they just link to the actual program that Brez is selling within the links. Super simple. And this gets people to come into the main page or go into the Instagram page or anywhere really, but this gets them in Brez's funnel and actually starts indoctrinating them into his personal brand again super quickly, way faster than if one dude, which is Brez, was to do all of this. So I never actually mentioned though, where are these platforms really taking these people? Well, they're all redirecting to what's called the AIadvertiser.com free training. Now you might notice the Trackio ID. Brez is really good at tracking, and that's the same with every six-figure business owner. Like if you're not tracking every fucking thing that your customer is doing, if you don't know exactly where your customer's falling off, you don't have a good business. You're not ready to scale to those 5 to 6 figures, like high 5 figures, low 6 figures. You need tracking as a prerequisite, because if you don't have tracking, you don't know what the fuck you're even supposed to improve. So like, what's the point of trying, right? So without tracking, you have nothing within your coaching business. You're basically just flying blind. Now with tracking, obviously you can scale to levels of Brez. That's not the only thing that allowed him to scale this far, but this is one of the many reasons. So he's able to track you really deeply throughout the funnel, because you get a separate consumer ID or customer ID the moment you get into his funnel, and then he knows whenever you come onto this, whenever you leave, blah everything, right? Now for the actual landing page though itself, he starts off with a short headline. Now short headlines are generally performing better with a bit longer subheadings now. You know, the old kind of I will help you do X in Y time with this method, it still works, but this is what's really going to be the meta pretty soon, I believe. Become an AI advertiser, learn how to utilize AI to do marketing for businesses, get the playbook, blah all this stuff. And the VSL is super simple. He's actually got a little Mr. Beast timer in here. Life hack for anybody who's not using this: you can have this little Mr. Beast timer going on at the bottom of your video, and it'll make people think, hey, this is probably just a 3 to 5 minute video, I'm just going to watch through the rest of it. And the way this works, actually I didn't explain, but it goes like really fast at the beginning, this little loading bar, and then it slows down immensely to the point where like it takes a very long time, right? It slows down immensely by the end. So that's how that works, and it is a very good retention hack for people to actually watch through your VSL, because it looks like it's 3 to 5 minutes at the beginning because it's going so fast, and so people are like, fuck it, let's just stick around, let's see what he has to say. Then it slows down, and once you've gotten people past the hook, bro, it is very easy to keep them for the rest of the video. Extremely extremely easy. It's like a layup. So then you'll also see not everyone gets in. Apply to see if you're a fit. Now he's saying, I don't need you, you need me. You are the one who's coming to me to apply, right? This is a bit more authority building. And here is the actual type form. Now we'll get into this type form in just a moment. I've actually got the full breakdown right on the left here. But let me finish up the rest of the page first. So he's got the apply now button, limited spots this month, a little bit of extra scarcity. Now a lot of people miss this because they add it like a little bit later, and one of the biggest mistakes I see is just overcomplicating your page with a fuck ton of little trinkets all across next to the buttons. It's really retarded. Just add limited spots this month or something similar to that around at the beginning or around the start or in the middle of the button basically, and you will easily be able to actually implement that scarcity, and you'll get the same effect as just a fuck ton of stuff all across your page without actually confusing your buyer. Now after this, you'll see a ton of social proof with a lot of screenshots. As you can see, it's varied the ratio or the screen kind of pixel ratio within this. Like some of these are in portrait mode, square mode. I don't know if that's called square mode, but it is what it is. And then there's like these more landscape type ones, and it's just like very different orientations of social proof, taking screenshots of very different things, very similar things, you know, messages from people that have gotten results. Now he is missing video testimonials here, which is the biggest thing I would tell him to add. Like this is just fucking missing video testimonials. It's a pretty rookie mistake on Brez's side, possibly because he doesn't want to overload the viewer. Doesn't make much sense, but he should be adding like a little bit of video testimonials right down here. He probably tested this, maybe it performed better, maybe it didn't, I'm not sure completely. It could also be because the loading times are definitely slower as you add video testimonials, and sometimes screenshot testimonials are better. But 99 times out of 10, if you're looking at this from home, you should start off with video testimonials on your page as well, just because some people like consuming videos more than screenshot, and vice versa, and other times people like consuming text. So just having different types of social proof on your page performs way better. And video testimonials are also the most believable because there's a dude in there talking to you, right? And that's also the reason that they're the hardest to get as well. So no worries if you don't have those, you can just use the same strat that Brez is using right now. Now for the actual type form that we actually use to transfer these people into the next page, number one is, what is your number one goal in the next 6 months? Now these first two questions are just building a lot of pain because it's breaking down that, or it's basically showing the person how far they are from their goal that they want to be at. And so they're building a ton of pain. And then after that, they ask the how soon are you looking to get started question, which is like, okay, are you trying to get this done now or later? A lot of like an 80% lead scoring question, but also a little bit of an effect on the prospect because it's like, okay, I said I was going to get started now. If I don't, I'm actually having a little bit of cognitive dissonance. You know, I'm a bit different. You know, I'm changing my previous statement in favor of another one on the sales call. So I won't do that. I won't change it. I want to start now, right? Locking them in to say this right now has a small mental effect. Question 4 is, how many hours a week could you dedicate to building this? Now this is just, again, lead scoring question, and also just for people to really lock in and say, hey, fuck it, I'm all in. You know, I have all of this stuff in, just to kind of, again, self-sort in their mind to make sure that cognitive dissonance kicks in if they actually try to change their mind later. Now, number 5 is, how old are you? So here, 17 or less, 18 to 21. This is partly a financing question, mostly financing, to see if they can actually be financed. And then, of course, also at the same time, it's a question to see whether or not this person is mature enough, because generally people under 18 just lie a lot, and also they don't have money, of course, because they are not even adults yet. And so as basically you can think of it like the older you are, the higher your lead score is 90% of the time. And then number 6 is, how much can you invest in yourself right now to start a real business? And now this is the actual dollar amount that you can invest right now. Again, how much you want to lock in right here, and then also to lead score again. Number 7, what is your first name, and then your email address. Now these are just basic CRM questions, and also questions for contacting them later, for sales assets, reminders, all of that jazz. The booking flow, if you guys don't have one of those, you are missing out on so much. You should have a booking flow where you have reminder emails with actual value. Repurposing your YouTube videos for these is really, really good. Case studies, sending them, spamming them basically with case studies and everything like that. And if you don't have a setter that's actually reaching out to these people, that's also a huge waste as well. So once we go ahead and finish this type form, it's going to move us right over to the confirmation page, which is like the application has been received. It's confirmation for the fact that your application has been received. He uses the Mr. Beast timer again, because why not? And then the 2-minute video breaks down exactly what you have to do next, and also says like a thank you from Brez. Hey, thanks for booking a call. Good job. You made the next step. You did great. You should now show up. This is why you should show up. This is the breakdown of what's going to happen. You're going to get called by these people because the confused prospect does not buy. It's also written on the page just so that people that don't watch the video know what's going to happen next. Again, confused prospect does not buy. If they don't know exactly what's going to happen next, prospect is not going to buy. And then keep your phone nearby is a little bit of a call to action for them to keep their phone nearby so you don't get them at a bad time and they don't miss the call. And then there's video testimonials on this page right here. Again, hear from people like you. This should have been on the main page as well. And then get good questions, or sorry, got questions. These are all objection handles disguised as FAQs right here. This is a huge thing you should be adding to your confirmation page, because they will objection handle like fucking hell, brother. It is insane. And then finally, there's the watch this next while you wait for your call. This video is absolutely massive for his page. I actually have a video on my page, on my YouTube video or YouTube channel, breaking down this type of video specifically. I believe it's the 1v10 debate format video somewhere on screen right here. If I don't link it, you will be able to find it on my channel with this exact thumbnail, a similar thumbnail at least, where this video is so good, right? Because this is just objection handling live. Like, it is quite literally the greatest sales asset I've ever seen on a person's YouTube channel, because it's just them handling hundreds of objections from ICP leads or, you know, dream follower leads or skeptics, right? That are supposed to be normal skeptics, right? People think of them as normal skeptics, that these are actually the people that are presenting their cause of being against Brez. And so they watch this video, Brez absolutely dismantles every fucking objection live with no preparation, and then they're like, okay, this guy actually knows his shit. I actually want to go ahead and work with him down the line, right? As they go through his funnel, of course, and get nurtured enough to think that at that point. So that was a full breakdown right there of Brez Scales $765,000 per month sales funnel. Now, I hope you got a ton of value from that video. Now, if you want to get something like this built out for your entire coaching business to really scale it up to the next level, add another 10, 30, 50, $100,000 in top line revenue to that coaching business, well, I'll leave a link down below to book a call with me one-on-one. You're going to talk to me, not one of my team members or anything like that. It's going to be me talking to you. Now, the way this call is going to go is super basic. You're going to hop on. You're going to tell us what exactly your bottleneck is. We're going to go ahead and see if that's actually your bottleneck or if it's something else. We'll find that out. We'll figure it out, target that bottleneck, fix it for you on that call, give you the exact next steps you need to take after the call. And then after that, you'll realize that, hey, I actually know what I'm doing. And then you'll ask me to pitch you. I'll pitch you, and then we'll see what happens from there. So worst case scenario, you hop on this call, you get an exact roadmap to add an extra $20,000 to $30,000 a month to your coaching business in the next 90 to 120 days, or you go ahead and work with somebody who's done this before and you actually scale your coaching business to $50,000, $100,000, $150,000 per month. So it's a no-brainer in my opinion. But again, I'll leave that link down below for anybody who's interested. But if you don't want to do any of that and you want to watch another one of my videos, again, I'll leave a video on screen for you to go ahead and check out right here, and you'll get even more value from those. So hoping to see you in one of these videos. Goodbye. Peace.